want to talk about it?
No.
It's alright, I'm not much of a talker either, okay? Thank you. It's okay.
What's your excuse this time?
Now it's a regular day in Lagos. In fact, the movie begins with a church having its children harvest. We see plenty happy children, face painting, bouncing castle, and of course, who made all this event possible? Her name is Promise, the event planner. Auntie Promise, Auntie Promise. She indeed is very good at her job. Now the pastor thanks her for making these things possible. So Promise also informed the pastor that a performance will be there soon, he should wait for them. And she says she has to leave for another interview. She's bidding for a huge contract. Then she calls her younger sister Favour to confirm if she's already at the venue. Favour says yes, she'll be on the way soon. So Promise appeals to her not to forget the access card because without it, she won't be allowed in, and that means she's going to miss the interview. Favour promised to be there with the card and the invite. Now, after the call, we see Favour take a picture of the special dress she made for that event. And by the way, Favour wasn't invited to the event too. This lady is so new dressed to a party she wasn't invited to. Unfortunately, the bus Favour took broke down on the road. So Promise calls her again. Where are you? Favour says, the vehicle broke down on the road. Hey, how am I supposed to get in? Well, Promise approached the receptionist. She says, I'm here to meet Mrs. Fadekemi Rhodes. I have an interview with her. Sadly, they refused to let her in without an access card. Hi. So what we should do? At that time, the superstar musician King Kator arrived at the event. Fans were hailing him. King Kator, Kator. Kator himself was feeling the fans, waving at them, failing to pay attention to where he was going, and then he bumped into Promise. See the Hollywood romantic spin, fall, love at first sight kind of. Abeg, get up, get up. Need to hear us shouting, make way. Clear road, abeg. Quick disclaimer: this recap is for educational purposes only. A Lagos love story is produced by Inkblot Productions. This recap is not meant to replace the full movie, neither should it stop you from watching the full movie on Netflix. Also, this recap contains heavy spoilers. If you are new here, please subscribe now and also turn on the notification icon. Hi, this is Sam. Welcome to the Film Village. Now, how will Promise get in? Well, she had to beg her friend, one of the caterers at the event, to give her their entry badge. That was her only way in. So inside, the party has started, everybody feeling themselves. Mrs. Rhodes stands there, waiting for her husband. Then Mr. Rhodes arrives. Hey babe. Then Promise arrives. Hello ma. Hello sir, my name is Promise Quest from Quest Events. Mrs. Rhodes says, you are 10 minutes late for the interview. She says, and she's sorry. There was an issue. Mrs. Rhodes says, that's all. No more interview. Promise tries to beg. Ma, I've never been late. This power couple had moved on. They left her talking to herself. This is truly painful. See how her sister Favour made her lose this huge contract. Well, remember the superstar King Kator? He is already spraying the celebrants' money while his song plays gently in the background. Now Favour is finally in. First thing is for her to take out her phone to start recording selfie to promote her new dress. Promise is unhappy with her. Is this why you came late? Making a new outfit to a party no one invited you. Favour says, she's sorry. Sorry? She dismissed me because I came late. Promise turns to leave and then bumps into King Kator again. Again for the second time. Romantic moment again, right? Come on, what's your problem? Are you okay? Kator asks his guys to leave her alone. Favour quickly jumps in to defend her sister, and that was when Kator sees that Favour's phone is recording. Oh, he thought they planned the hit just to have a viral video they can spread. Okay, delete that video. Delete that video now. Kator's manager Mayowa tries to take the phone from Favour, but she kicks him. This drew the attention of everyone, and the bouncers had to come in. So one young lady gets up to help them. Leave this lady alone. Have you no shame? Mayowa says, I better get out of here. They grabs her hand too to send her out of the place. Do you know who I am? Kator doesn't know her, obviously. Promise then spews it. See, the news will reach that King Kator illegally detained the daughter of the Minister of Work. Minister of Works. Quickly, they had to leave this woman alone. Promise even asked that he should tender an apology on video. She embarrassed these guys. She handled them well. Now, Mr. Rhodes is impressed with Promise. It appears she will be able to handle this contract well with the way she handled Kator. So he gave Promise another opportunity for another interview. This time, don't be late. The girls are excited. Even the minister's daughter, Adana, is happy for them. She invited both of them to an after-party event, but before then, she commended Favour for her new outfit. So that night now, minister's daughter Adana introduces Favour to her friends, also telling them how she kicked Kator's PA Mayowa in the leg. Favour playfully admits that they would have beat her. Oh. Then Adana's friend Nunu approached them. Adana, you really do have a way of collecting strays. Whoa. She asks who Favour is. Favour says, my sister and I just got a big contract from Fadekemi Roads. And I am a designer. I made my dress. Wow, she's excited. Adana says, wow, you made this dress? But Nunu mock her, saying, but I've never heard of you. Favour replies immediately with, anyone with a sense of fashion or style has heard of Sassy by Favour. A small brand, this Favour, she always has the best replies. So Adana had to talk to her friend Nunu to be nice. Come on, you are just meeting them for the first time. Bad character is what it is. This piece promise off, so she asks Favour that they should leave. Now, Promise and Favour arrives home. Now, on their gate, we could see a tax lien bill on it. So definitely, this family has financial issues. But we will get to that soon. Now they entered. Daddy, you are awake? He says, yes. And you are eating sweet. This man is sick. Promise asks, did you take your medicine? Of course, it's a no. He relays the greeting from Pastor Bayo to her for helping the children harvest go well. Then they ask about the interview to know if she got it, even though he's not looking forward to her getting that interview. Papa wants Promise to accept her divine calling. Maybe he wants her to become a pastor, I don't know. Promise defends the contract she's trying to get. She says it will give her over 10 million naira in profit a year. Now, all she needs to get is a 20 million naira loan. She will pay back the tax on their house now and maybe work for 5 years and then pay back the loan. And then she's going to have extra to even sort other bills. Papa says no. He will go back to work and also join with his salary. Favour says no. Doctor say you can't go back to work. The point of this thing is that it's up to these two girls to look for a way to save this house. Now the next day, Promise is there for the interview as promised, very early this time. Now Mr. Rhoda to convince the wife to give Promise the contract, but no, Mrs. Fadekemi Road refuses. She says the best she can do now is to try her out first. So she goes to meet Promise. Congratulations. Quest event will serve as concierge to King Kator. They will have to take him to his appearances on time, keep his guys in check until the concert they will be having, and absolutely no nonsense. Wait, this is not the contract this girl is bidding for. So immediately Promise spoke up quick. Ma, my proposal was to supply and manage ushers, not to do follow for Kator. Mr. Rhodes says, of course, but King Kator is the star attraction of the event. The main part of the event, and probably because of what happened at the event the other day, Kator and his team no longer wants to honor their agreement. So it's up to Promise to fix things. Just manage him for 4 days and after that, I'm sure my wife here will be willing to honor your agreement. Chai. This woman says if Promise succeeds with this assignment, then the contract will be hers. She asks her PA to get Promise up to Favour pulls her sister aside. Say, I don't think you should consider this at all. What if you can't make Kator behave? Promise says, but it's just for 4 days. Chai. Favour says she has a better idea. She says maybe they should just let the government take the house, sell it, deduct their tax, and give them back the balance. Then they can invest the balance into Promise cotton. Wait. Invest the balance into your fashion business, Abi? That's why you came late and you don't even care. Even the government people doesn't pay up as easy as you may think. Favour leaves the place in anger. At least she's not the concierge. Promise will be. So Promise meets Deborah. Please bring me up to speed. Now that Promise is in, let's see how easy things will go for her. So the driver assigned to Promise, Mr. Chima, brought her to the hotel where Kator and his guys are. The first complaint they hear is from the manager. The noises from Kator and his guys, the women, the smoking, even the fans camping in the lobby, just name it. Promise begin to apologize, promising to sort things out. She has not yet finished speaking when one of them comes out with 3 girls. Hey God. Well, let her try. She wants to enter when Mayowa, Kator's manager, meets her. Hey, you again? She says she works for Pretty Perfect now. That's Mrs. Fadekemi Roads. Mayowa tells her voice is annoying. Anyway, come in. So say what you want and leave, please. Promise starts her work immediately by telling them their schedule and where they need to be. King Kator has interview as blah blah blah. All these people are not just concerned. He says, see, we have to leave in 30 minutes if we don't want to be late. Mayowa says, we? Promise says, yes. King Kator signed and he needs to do everything on the schedule. Please, tell me how much time you need and I'll find a way to make it work. They all laughed at her. See this babe, it's obvious she doesn't know who we are. They were still mocking when Promise runs straight to Kator's room. She quickly locked the door. I'm sorry for bargaining. Kator is busy having a listening to his music. She taps him. Hello? I'm sorry. What the fuck? How did you get in? What is this? What is this? Promise begins to beg. I'm sorry. I work for Pretty Perfect and I'm your concierge. That means that Kator says, I know what a concierge is and I didn't ask for one. Kator says he doesn't need her. Especially not someone that recently coerced him into a video apology the other day. Oh, Promise then used that same video as a bargaining chip, almost like blackmailing Kator. She says she will delete the video in 4 days' time as long as Kator does what he should. Kator says, what if he doesn't give a shit about the video? What then? Oh, Promise says, are you willing to risk it? Kator truly doesn't want that apology video out. You know now, it will affect his street credibility. So, to avoid any issue, he agrees to do what she wants. But he says he won't be doing them with his full mind though. So he actually went for the interview and all. Promise is outside, already preparing for the next schedule, the photo shoot, when Mayowa approached her. He literally called her house girl. He says, the team have not eaten lunch and we want amala from Mama Oyegun. Promise says she will order for a delivery. For where? Come, we don't eat from strangers, so you want them to poison us, right? He says she will be the one to go get the food for them. Hey, now they are done with the interview and it's time for the photo shoot, and Kator refused to do it again. He doesn't like the concept. The photographer is already pissed off. That was when Promise arrived with their amala, their lunch. Photographer says they are refusing to do the shoot. Oh, I'm calling for the Kemi. Promise begs him to wait. Eh? He says, Kator, but you approve. Kator says, if he will do it, the concept will have to be bigger than it is, okay? Okay, no problem. Promise says, can the three of us sit down and come up with a different concept? That is when Kator says he wants to go and eat. Promise is just frustrated. Day one, and all this is already happening on the first day. Guess what, guys? While they were in the lobby playing, you won't believe Kator kicks a ball, and as Promise opened the door to enter, the ball hits her. Kator apologized. Promise then says, wait, does it mean that I cannot be around you without coming to some bodily harm? It's okay, sorry. Promise says, see, they've come up with a better concept that might work, and please agree to it. So Kator asked her to come closer to him and tell him. Promise says it's the director that will tell him about it. Now, the day 3 of the act exhibition, Favour is there to show support to our friend Kufre. Now, Kufre had used Favour as a muse for his art because he actually loves her, but he does not know how to tell her. Now, Promise and Kator arrive at the venue, including Deborah, Fadekemi's PA. So they both start gossiping about Kator and his guys. Deborah says, if not that their boss, Fadekemi Road, bans them from touching, Anyway, they can look at these guys. Promise says, even if they were not banned from touching, she is not tempted by Kator. See, there's no romance there. Adana then arrives to the event also. She sees the picture. Wow. Your boyfriend loves you. Favour says, no, he's not my boyfriend though. Well, Adana tells her that she has an extra VIP ticket and she wants Favour to join her. The thing is this, Adana wants something from Favour, and you will see that thing very soon. Shege, one of Kator's guy, is bored. No drink, no smoke, nothing. Abeg, let them give us beats, abeg. He gets up to dance while the others were beatboxing and clapping for him. Suddenly, a vase behind him falls and shattered. Serious problem. At that moment of the shatter, Mrs. Fadekemi enters. She starts blaming Promise for not controlling the guys, and Kator cuts in. Kator says it's not her fault. It's her guy's fault, so don't blame this innocent girl. Alright then. Fadekemi then moved the insult on Kator and the others. Wait, you can't talk to my artist like that, Mayowa Bajin. Oh, at that point, Kator asked her to cancel the contract. He is no longer interested, sef. Even Nuno and Dana's friend mock Favour for her sister's failure. Later that night at the hotel, Promise informed Kator that they won't cancel the contract because the ticket for his show has already sold out. So please suck it up, control your boys and accept the 50 million naira. Kator says, 50 million naira is nothing at all. Promise says, oh, I see. Promise that he's still looking for 10 million naira. Kator says he was offered $100,000 to perform in the US that same night. That's about 150 million naira. But they did not let him go because of contracts. No wonder he is angry and acting like this. Kator even says, and you are helping them to even blackmail me to perform. How do you think that feels? And for the first time, Promise says, okay, no more blackmail, and officially begged Kator for help to cooperate. Kator says no problem. Now, while leaving Kator's room, Mayowa is on a call when Shege begins to apologize to Promise. He says, it wasn't him that hit that vase that broke. I swear. Promise says, don't worry. And that was when Mayowa came out and confessed that it was him. His hand hit the vase. You say what? Mayowa says, it's my fault. Shege and Mayowa begins to exchange words. That night, Promise could not sleep. She stares at her laptop, thinking about taking the loan to save their house, even though she hasn't gotten the contract to pay for the loan. Now, Favour takes her laptop. Come on, Promise. We don't even have the contract yet and we are almost applying for the loan. Favour is scared of them falling into more debt. Favour says they've spent 5 years paying for the loan and it's just 20 million naira they've been able to cover. See, it's better the government take the house. Promise gets up. No, take it back. She says it's not about the money, it's about the house, the memories of their late mother and her legacies. Favour gets up and tells her to her face that everything is about her. She's deciding everything, chasing the memories of a dead mother, forgetting to care for the one that is alive. Tawai! Promise slaps her. Then their father joined them. Enough! He wants Promise not to take any loan without securing a contract first. No contract, no loan. Agreed? Promise agreed. The father says he won't be alive to watch his family in a senseless death. Promise takes her laptop and goes inside. The father is sick, remember? So he sat down to rest. The next morning, Promise stylishly apologized to Veeiye for slapping her. The fake apology is because she wants Veeiye to help her out with selecting wardrobe for Kator's shoot that day. No, Veeiye says she wants a proper apology. Veeiye also wants to do the job though. Someone that's looking for a breakout, a way to advertise her sassy by Veeiye outfit. Anyway, she agrees to follow Promise. Now we see the video shoot of his song Bad as Fontaine. It was actually cool, bigger than what Kator expects. Even the director was impressed with the new idea they generated. Now after the shoot, Promise thanked Kator for doing it and she says the director is also happy. Then Kator asks her, what about you? Are you happy? The romance part of this movie is about to start, so are you happy? Promise says, well, she's suspecting him because the way he's just complying to everything she says these days, Hope nothing is happening, Sha. Kator laughs and then says, to celebrate the success of the shoot, he's going to treat them to lunch. They did the shoot in his area, so he wants to take them to his favorite spot. He took them to eat amala. It was at this restaurant that Promise got to know that Kator is actually a graduate. He says, wow. Kator says, no wonder you think I don't know what a concierge means. Promise says, it's because it's not public knowledge. Kator says it's intentional because it doesn't look good for a street credibility if he looks like a graduate. All this while, Veeiye was just looking at these two soon-to-be lovers. See this one. Mayowa comes to call Kator. Are you guys not done? His presence made Veeiye get up and leave this. Promise and Kator continue their chat, with Promise finally opening up to Kator that she actually likes his song. In fact, she can sing the lyrics of Bad as Fontaine by heart. She starts singing. Mayowa was just looking at her. Kator says, so you like the music? Promise says, I never said I don't like your music now. Kator says, oh, I see. It's just me you don't like. Kator is coming. He's coming. Someone rushing, saying there's a trouble outside though. The other boys are there to collect. Mayowa, were you not supposed to settle them? She gets up to go out to fix things. Now getting there, she tries to talk to, wait. These guys did not listen. They insisted on seeing Kator himself. Promise says, no, they should talk to her. The leader says, okay. If it's you, then it is war. But there will be peace if it is Kator. Promise continues that this is Kator's hood. So they are supposed to be Kator's guys. They said, yes, they know. But since Kator left the hood, he never returned to even check on them or honor them. In fact, this hoodlum was the one that named him Kator. His actual name, Kazim, was turned to Kator. That was when Kator joined them. Hey, Boss Fontaine. See guys, even Kator's song title is this guy's name. So truly, Kator has some respect for the guy. So Kator apologized for not showing up, saying that it is work schedule, traveling here and there that hindered him. He says, let's go inside. Now inside, Fontaine says, this lady is claiming to be in charge. Is she your babe? Promise did not say no. She says, is that the point? Well, to ease the whole thing, Kator transferred the sum of 5 million naira to Fontaine. Problem finally solved. As for Veeiye, in her place of work, which is also the same studio Kufre uses for his painting, Kufre is about to finally summon the courage to tell her how he feels when a call comes in. It's Adanna, the minister's daughter, asking Veeiye to come immediately. Kufre signaled to her that she can go. He will continue from there later, so Veeiye leaves. That night, we see Kator in bed with his headphone as usual when Promise enters to wake him up. Kator starts with, do you miss me already? This one you are... You wish. Promise says, see, their boss, Mr. Road, is having a private dinner that night and Kator is needed at the event. Kator says, no, he's not going. No. That's not on the list of us. Promise insists, saying, you almost got us beat today. Now you have to get up, get dressed, and let's go. Kator says, okay, just like that. Even Promise is surprised. Kator says, well, on one condition, Promise will be his dates for the evening. Promise says, anyway, she has to be there, so no problem. First, they had to take Kator for his dressing. They got him these cool clothes, and then Kator asked them to also get a dress for Promise too. They got her one simple dress. Kator loves it, but Promise says she doesn't like it. She got another one that is fully covered. Kator said, no. Says he doesn't want this one. Go and change it, please. Then finally, they got her another. And this time, Promise says she won't be changing it. Kator sees the clothes and oh boy, he loves it. You see why? Now getting to the dinner, Mrs. Rhodes is angry to see them wearing matching clothes. Remember, there is a ban that they should not flirt with their clients. So she calls Promise aside to talk to her. Promise says, "Ma, that was the only way Kator gets to come to this dinner." And that excuse was the only reason why Mrs. Fadekemi did not sack Promise. So Mr. Road also asked Kator to perform for his guest, somebody that is not even part of this guy's contract. What? Kator is obviously angry, but to avoid embarrassment, he decides to sing. Now after that, he left, and guess what? Mr. Road called him back and gave him an envelope, a handout for performing. What? An insult. Someone that was offered 115 million naira in the US is now performing for a white envelope. Kator even refuses to enter the company's car anymore. He just wants to be by himself. So he goes outside and begins to spray the money on his fans. Some brought out camera to start recording everything. Promise is angry that he threw the money away like that, making even those people pick money on the floor like slaves. Oh, so you are now rich, Abi? Those people are now beneath you, right? This version of you is disappointing. Promise doesn't like such treatment. Kator quickly runs to her and also apologizes for throwing that money to them like that. He says he is angry at Mr. Road and he just wants to do something not connected to the roads. Come on. You are cute when you are pissed. Before we know it, he pulled her closer and landed a passionate kiss on her lips. Promise enjoyed it though, but sadly, she can't go on with it. So Kator returns to the hotel under heavy inspiration. He calls Shege to call the sound engineer. He has a song to sing ASAP. I don't know kids can give inspiration so quick. Now remember that Adana called Favor earlier. It was for a party, a yacht party. A trenches girl like Favor now partying on a yacht and having expensive drinks too. Nice. Now Nunu arrives. Favor informs them that she has to leave because they are having a festival at their place, Ojojo Aye Ojo. Nunu mocks them for such trenches festival. It's not Christmas and you guys are shooting fireworks anyhow. She wants to embarrass Favor at every opportunity she gets. Adana is not happy with this, and to make it up to Favor, she decides to follow Favor to that party. Favor says no, it's not a fancy thing, no. Till Adana insists on going with her. Now finally Promise arrived at the festival first. She greeted her father, asked of Favor. Favor is not back yet, so she meets their friend. Just then, we see Favor and Adana arrive. Kufre is unhappy with Favor. I have called you like 5 times. Favor apologized for coming late, and then sit. Adana says, sorry, they were having a party on a yacht, that's why. Party on a yacht? Kufre looks down at her. He feels he has lost Favor. She may not want him anymore now, since she's now partying with the big girls on yacht. Well, Adana also mentioned that even though this is not a fancy festival, it's actually charming. You know, a bit of that billionaire pride is in that statement. And of course, people in the trenches hears these things easily. Favor's friend gave her a sarcastic, thank you. Now, before leaving that festival, Adana asked Favor how and why the fireworks when it's not even Christmas. Favor says her mom ordered too many fireworks when she was alive one time and they had to throw the rest away. Now that she is dead, they turned it into an annual tradition. Adana then advised Favor, saying, don't be afraid to leave traditions and people that are holding you back. In a way, Adana is saying to Favor that she should be ready to leave all these things to join the big league. They greeted and Adana leaves for her house. She even told Favor that she has a surprise for her the next day. Just then, a message pops up on Favor's phone. It's a video of Promise and Kator kissing on the street. It has gone viral. So she rushed inside to confront Promise. I knew it! I knew it, there had to be something. See, I knew Promise is worried. This is all over social media. She says, once Fadekemi sees this, she is fired. Big problem. No contract, no loan, and now she'll be losing her job too. The next day at the staff meeting, Promise told them that the truth is, it was Kator who kissed her. Mrs. Fadekemi says, come on, he kissed you publicly. It's because you put yourself in a position to be kissed publicly. Anyway, she is letting this go because Kator has threatened them that if they should fire Promise, he will no longer show up for anything anymore. So for that reason, they give Promise one last chance. But if you mess up again, nothing, absolutely nothing will stop me from firing your ass. Sad Promise had to walk out of the meeting. Now, Deborah also took an excuse to quickly meet Promise to comfort her. She gave her a good luck pin, saying, you are going to need this today. Actually, Promise went to Kator's place. She's not happy that he threatened her boss. Kator says he did that for her. He has been observing the way she treats Promise and he's not happy about it. Kator also apologized for not telling Promise before calling Mrs. Fadekemi with that threat. He pulls her closer and says he didn't think it through. That's how much you have affected me. See, babe, this thing between us. See, there's nothing between us. And I want you to stop calling me babe. Kator removes that good luck pin from her dress. Are you sure you want me to stop calling you babe? Promise asks him to get his shit together and then walk out of the room. Now downstairs, she meets Mayowa. He says, Haba, you are already having lovers quarrel so soon? Wait, come. He takes her to the computer and then plays the song for her. Listen. It was the song Kator sang the other night under inspiration from Kissing Promise. Promise is surprised and a bit happy. Mayowa then informed Promise that he sang that song for you last night in just 5 hours. You see, I don't like you, but it seems you will be useful. Mayowa offered to pay Promise, but she insists that she is not interested in payment. About to leave, Mayowa pulls her back again. See, this song will give them 50 million streams, and that's a big money in dollars. Mayowa wants Promise to keep making Kator happy. Now Promise says she's not a prostitute, so how will she keep him happy? Mayowa says it's none of his business. So then Promise walk out. Now inside the elevator, she remembers that they have a tax to clear off. She thought about the offer Mayowa mentioned for a while and then returns to meet Mayowa. How much? After a moment of silence, Promise asked for 20 million naira. Wow. Now let's go to meet Favour and Ada. What surprise does she have for Favour? Here we are. She took Favour to a woman that curates selections of upcoming designer clothes for fashion show. And then I wants the woman to see Favour's design before making the final selection. And guess what? This woman loved Favour's design. She even asked them to steam it up and prepare it to be showcased that night at the ACW. Wow! So soon? Even Favour is amazed. Oh my God, thank you so much. This woman actually said, young lady, welcome to the big league. Hey, Favour has made it finally. Now, at that time, we see Promise on a call. She's being informed that the tax assessor will be coming for their house that day. So someone needs to be there to attend to her, or else they will lose their house. So Promise begged them to push it to the next day, but the tax assessor says no. This means that Promise will have to find a way to go there. So she promised to be there. Now that night at the ACW, we see Favour dressing the models assigned to her when a message from Promise enters her phone. The message says Favour needs to be at home between 1 p.m. and 4 p.m. because a tax assessor will be there and their dad is at the hospital. So this is very important. Favour says what she's doing is important too, so she turned off her phone. Hey! So that evening, Kator and Promise are in the vehicle on their way to an event. When Kator starts expressing his love to Promise, he says the only thing on his mind now is kissing her again. Now the ACW has started, and guess who is also in attendance? Kator and Promise. Keep in mind that Promise did not know anything about Favour coming here. So you can imagine the shock on her face when she hears her sister's name, Sassy by Favour. She's indeed happy, excited. She takes permission from Kator to go meet Favour. Promise is truly happy for Favour. When did this happen? And why didn't you tell me? I'm so proud of you. You know what? Let's double the celebration, eh? So what did the tax assessor say? Are they going to extend? Yeah. Favour says everything happened quickly, so she could not spare time to go. Promise says they are in trouble. Missing this could cost them everything. They may not even extend their payment for another year. Favour, how could you be so selfish? Favour says she doesn't know about the tax assessor earlier now, and since it's so important to Promise, why didn't she go herself? Promise sits there in pain. No two ways about this. It is certain that they will lose the house. Now after a while she hasn't returned, Kator goes to look for her. So he meets her crying. Hey, are you good? Do you want to talk about it? Promise says no. He hugs her and comforts her, even though he doesn't know the reason. Now while hugging, Mrs. Fadekemi enters again. She says, so what's your excuse this time? This lady has finally lost her job. Speechless, she walks out. Kator did not mind. He just hugged her again. So they left the event center and he took Promise to the club to while away her sadness. Lots of drinks and kissing and shots. They ended up bedding each other. So Promise wake up to the loud alarm the next day. I'm late. She can't afford to be late that day again. With what just happened last night, she doesn't want any more problem from Mrs. Fadekemi. So she gets dressed and one of her shoes is missing. She will have to do the walk of shame. Kator asks her not to worry about it, that he will ask the driver to go drop her and she can get another shoe on the way. He also commend her for how she satisfied him the other night. Promise is embarrassed, but then Kator asks her not to worry, don't be embarrassed. He promised Promise that he is all in. He actually wants the relationship. So they kissed again and then she leaves. Coming out, Mayowa calls her, telling her to keep up the good work. Wait, is Promise still doing this for 20 million naira, or is Mayowa getting things wrong? Or is Promise trying to kill two stones with one bird? Get the money and get the guy. We shall see. Now Adana and Nunu holds a meeting with Favour because of the success of the ACW the other night. So they will be funding our brand finally, but they insist on having 80% of the share. What? Favour says, Sassy by Favour is my brand, my name and creation. You guys are here trying to take over. Adana then showed her true colors. This is why she has been taking Favour like an handbag all this while. She says, Favour will be nothing without them. I thought you were my friend. Friends? No. You were easy to mold, so I was just molding you. Favour will have to move on. These are terrible people. Now, Promise arrived at the office late again. Unfortunately, the meeting has already ended. And that day is the day of the concert. The last day Kator will have to behave himself for Promise to get that contract. Now, the show has started. And before I forget, Promise was placed as a waiter at her boss's table, Mr. Rhodes. Well, Shege the hype man introduces Kator to the crowd and he starts performing. Now some girls walk straight to sit at that table. Promise quickly stopped them. She even offered to help them get another seat. But this lady insists that that's where they want to sit down, claiming that Mr. Rhodes is a friend to their mom, so he won't mind. Promise tried to make them get up, but their security grabbed Promise's hand, gripping her too tight. Leave my hand! Leave my hand! Kator, the lover boy, sees someone manhandling his babe. He jumped off the stage to intervene. He punched the security guy. The whole place scattered. That girl took a bottle, smashed it on Kator's head. Show's over. Mayowa threatens Fadekemi. He promised to sue them for every single dime they have. Promise is trying to check up on Kator when Mayowa says, "Hey, you must be mad. Get out of here." The ambulance takes Kator to the hospital and Fadekemi finally fired Promise. She returns home to meet Favour lying down. Both of them just lost every big opportunity they once had. Favour tells her what happened with Adana, and Promise also narrated how she started a fight. After a while, Promise admits that letting go of the house make her feel as if she's letting go of her mom. Now after talking for a while, they both cheered each other up and agreed to let the house go. Now Promise comes to the hospital after calling and begging Shege to help her get to Kator. So Shege meets her by the reception and takes her in. Mayowa is still angry. He doesn't want to allow it, but Shege stood up for Promise, calling Mayowa a fool. You ran away when there was fight. Now you are flaring up and now you get power. Mayowa asks Favour to leave the hospital, telling her that he knows she is there because of the money, the 20 million naira. Promise says no, she doesn't even need the money. Mayowa says, I paid you to keep him happy. And that moment, Kator woke up. He heard that. Kator says, he paid you? Promise begins to cry, denying that she wasn't paid. She wasn't. Mayowa then blow the trumpet. Did you not ask me for 20 million naira? Kator, out of anger, asked Promise to leave. Leave! Shege helped Promise to leave the place, but he promised her that he will help her talk to Kator about it later. Promise head back home in tears. She just lost her job, she will lose her house, and now she has lost Kator, her love. Many days later, Promise and her family held a memorial for their late mother before they start packing out of the house. Kufre and Favour are still not yet sure about where they are heading with their situationship or whatever. He even helped them pack and also gifted Favour a photo book of herself as a goodbye gift. Now, while at the beach one day, Promise tells Favour that she just received a message from the tax people that Kator has paid their bills. He paid for that house. So they are debt-free now. Favour says, how? I thought you guys are fighting and you are no longer speaking. Promise says, well, he's annoying, arrogant and chaotic. She doesn't like who she is becoming around him. Favour says, well, me I like who you are whenever you are with him. She did her best to convince Promise to try and tell Kator that she loves him too. By the way, it was the song Kator sang for Promise that they were playing at that beach. Well, they head to the show Kator had that night. Kufre helped them with the passage in. So Kator is busy performing his badass Fontaine song. Promise is scared, but Favour keeps pushing. Well, she summoned the courage. She approached the stage there. Kator sights her. He loves her now, you know. So Mayowa tries to intervene again, but Shege blocks his way. So Promise stands there, unable to speak. Shege gestures to her, speak, speak. Promise then begins to sing the song he sang for her. Kator joined in, and the crowd joined in singing. Kator says, if you are here because I bought the house, Promise says, no, she's there because she loves him. She was about to keep talking when Kator did not waste time to pull her in and land another long kiss on her lips. Hey! The whole crowd burst into a loud noise. Kator pulls her on stage to join in the song and then another kiss. See, forget the movie. These two love kissing each other, I beg. Top. Camera tilts up and then the movie ends. So tell me what you think about this movie. Do you enjoy it? I'll be waiting to read the comments in the comment section. Let's talk about it. As for me, The movie feels a little bit draggy, but it's okay. But let me hear your review about it. Thanks for watching this video. For more amazing content and film reviews, please subscribe to this channel. And until we meet again, I am Sam, and this is the Film Village.